Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, debts, slaves, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks. I'm Useful Idiot. Welcome. So here we are in the middle of negotiations for ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia. In the last 2 days, we've had massive drone attacks by both Russia and Ukraine, and so this moving into the ceasefire agreements and even a peace agreement just continues to be problematic. And I'm not surprised in a lot of ways because, of course, Russia and Ukraine both want to negotiate from a position of strength. And Russia has been in a position of strength. They're winning along a 2,000 mile long border and have consolidated a lot of their occupation of Donbass region. And they also have the Ukraine incursion into Kursk has the troops there completely surrounded. And of course, we know that Putin and Trump came to an arrangement that the lives of these soldiers surrounded in Kursk would be spared because, as far as Russia is concerned, they're terrorists and are guilty of war crimes, and that's debatable, certainly. But and of course, Zelensky denies that his troops are encircled in Ukraine, so that's to be expected as well. I have every reason to believe Putin is correct and that the Ukraine's forces are surrounded there. But this is part of a strategy where both are going to fight up until the last minute, and they're going to try and consolidate their positions and negotiate from a position of strength. But both these attacks are really striking and really immense. So first of all, we have a huge drone attack by Ukraine on the Engels Russian air base, which is a key Russian air base 500 miles inside of Russia. And they have a lot of strategic bombers there and a lot of cruise missiles, and a lot of them have been destroyed. And there was a lot of damage and video of the explosions. They're huge. So there's a lot of peripheral damage and a lot of fires raging as a result. But it's really something to see. It's obviously a huge attack, and even the Russians have commented on the fact that it's the biggest attack by Ukraine they've ever seen. And the Ukraine used a drone swarm, and Russia claims to have shot down 54 drones, and we're not really sure at this point how many drones made it through. But obviously, as I pointed out in other videos, this drone warfare is a new component of the battlefield in the 21st century, and we're seeing the results of that now. A massive attack by Ukraine using probably 200 to 300 drones, because another 132 drones were also launched into other parts of Russia. So this drone warfare is becoming a hallmark, and to balance that out, of course, now we have a huge Russian attack on the Ukraine port of Odessa, and they used 150 drones. And again, we have massive fires, a massive amount of destruction, and just like Ukraine, Russia sent 200 drones into central Ukraine as well. So amazing. We're seeing reciprocal drone swarm attacks of up to 300 drones used by both Russia and Ukraine, and smack dab in the middle of these negotiations. So it doesn't bode well. Of course, we have a lot of vehemence and a lot of personal anger by both Ukraine and Russia, not only because this war has gone on for a long time, but Ukraine, their resentment of their former country, Russia, and then Russia, Ukraine is a traditional center of Russian culture, and so both feel very betrayed. And we see Zelensky and Putin's officers all describing each other in pretty unsavory terms. So it's really a personal thing. But strategically, it's definitely about negotiating from a position of strength, but it also doesn't bode well for the effectiveness of any kind of ceasefire. So we'll see what kind of effect this has moving forward. But amazing attacks, and this entire idea of drone swarms, military experts and military historians have talked about the fact that warfare moving into the future is going to involve a lot more of these drone attacks. It's very economical. Um, it doesn't involve actual humans being involved in combat, and they're using drones now that are very small, basically commercial drones. They're easily assembled. You can create a lot of them, and they carry huge payloads, as we're seeing in these attacks. So anyway, pretty dramatic events going on in the middle of peace negotiations. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too?